I'm Caroline Leach, and my YA historical debut is out in January from Harper Teen. It's called Wait For Me, and it's set in Scotland in 1945, just at the end of World War II. When I was first asked to do this vlog, I was a bit worried about my accent, because I thought, what if nobody understands what I say? Because although I live in Houston, Texas, I really don't sound like many people down here. So I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't do vlogs, maybe I should just write, maybe I should just stick to blogging instead, because I don't have an accent when I write. I thought, well, hold on, if I don't sound Scottish when I'm writing, what happens when I want a character to sound Scottish? How do I go about putting an accent into a character when actually I spend my whole life taking my accent out? There are two main ways I created accents within for the characters. One is syntax, the actual words they use, and the other one is sentence construction. So with syntax, the Scottish people, it would be really dull if you had endless Scottish isms in the text. So basically it's straightforward English, but occasionally I will put in a Scottish word. So bairn, lassie, laddie, wee, kirk and glaikit. Words like that, which give us kind of Scottish feeling to the whole thing, give it a bit of atmosphere. I don't pack them full into all the dialogue, but I just give you a reminder every so often, just in case you were forgetting which accent they had. And then we've got Nellie. Now Nellie's a land girl from London, and she says, at the end of her sentence, she calls people lavvy and ducky, and it's, you know, it's quite cute. And then we've got the American airmen, who refer to a mighty fine time. Now, no other accent in my book would say mighty fine time. It's a very, very southern kind of word. And he calls her Miss Lorna the whole time. Again, quite southern. Now, when we get to Paul, who's the German prisoner of war and our love interest, Paul's a whole different ballgame, because he's an English learner. And so he's coming at English as a foreign language. And when he starts at the beginning of the story, he's kind of rusty. He's got schoolboy English. But through the course of the book, he does get better. But how do I put reminders in to let you know that he's still German? So with Paul, I use three very distinct tools. One, he has a very limited vocabulary compared to Lorna and the others. So whenever I thought a word was too difficult for him to know in his stage of English, I took it out and replaced it with a simpler one. The other one, his sentence construction is very, very simple, especially when it comes to conjugating verbs. Because if any of you have learned Spanish or French or German or whatever, you'll understand that when you're talking at speed, the thing you want to avoid is getting kind of complicated and bogged down into a very complicated word structure. So you use the easiest tenses you can possibly find as much as you can, and Paul does that to a certain extent. And then the other thing that's most obvious about Paul is he never uses contractions. He never uses won't and don't. He uses will not and do not. And that was something that actually really brought him alive for me. I could hear him very clearly as I was writing, and he just would never use a contraction. Now, there is another way that you can give a hint of an accent without actually writing the dialogue at all, and J.K. Rowling does this brilliantly in Harry Potter, and that's by calling people by names that actually are likely to have an accent going along with them. So you know that Professor McGonagall is Scottish because she's McGonagall. You know that Hermione is likely to be English because I don't know many other countries where you would have a Hermione. Seamus Finnegan cannot be anything other than Irish. So there we are, three major parts of how to put forward an accent to your reader: syntax, sentence construction, and names. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I haven't gone on too long, and I really hope that I'll see you again.